This week, I'm going to talk about jealousy and comparison and how they're actually good opportunities. So, I currently am very congested. So, if I sound like it, it's because, well, I am. And I just wanted to come clean about that. Jealousy and comparison is an opportunity to assess what is actually important to you. Whenever you see an object of your jealousy, it gives you a lot of information about yourself, right? It's an indicator about something that you desire but you do not have. And you may be like, Rachel, I was taught not to covet. I understand, but were you taught not to set goals? I don't know. Because whenever you see something that you wish that you had, it's an opportunity for discovering, okay, so what is it about that I desire and why? And what can I do in my life to either accomplish that or emulate that or have or be some element of that in a sustainable way for my life? I'm sorry, I can't, it's so stuffy. It's so similar to what we talked about in previous weeks about standing up for yourself and assessing core values. And if you haven't seen those videos yet, I really encourage you to watch them. It's also important to note that not every situation is equal. So there's something called opportunity cost. And what opportunity cost is how much something costs someone, not just financially, but out of their whole life to be able to accomplish certain things. And so, for example, for me going away to school to study acting, it had a really high opportunity cost. I mean, it meant leaving everything that I had. But the thing is, for others, it may not be like that, which is also fine. In my immediate cohort, whom I love, there are several of us that were not required to move across the country to pursue this education. And the opportunity cost wasn't necessarily easier, it was just different. And so the reason I bring that up is because every single situation is going to be different for folks. And just because you perceive someone is living an experience in one way doesn't mean that there's not this iceberg underneath of things that are also contributing to going after this. And if it's something that you're not willing to purchase with your opportunity cost, that's fine. It's totally your decision because there are different ways, sustainable ways of still achieving the things that you desire in life, even if it's not exactly how you pictured it. And another thing, so jealousy and comparison, whenever it is directed to another person, for whatever reason, there's some really cool opportunities for two things: opportunity to learn and opportunity to cheer others on. Let's say that you see someone and you really love the way that they dress, or you find that they're very confident, you feel insecure. I'm speaking from personal experience. You have a choice, and that choice is either to beat yourself up about it and or beat them up in your mind about it, or you could lead into curiosity a bit more. And by leading into curiosity, it then takes away the us versus them nature of it. And instead, it turns into just an us kind of thing, where if you engage in a polite and friendly acquaintanceship and or friendship, then you have greater opportunity of building something with someone who already has accomplished what you desire, whether it's through mentorship, whether it's just through asking some questions, or whether it's about getting to be around someone where they push you to be better. It's fair to also state that one should be open to the other person saying no to that. Just because they have something that you admire or you want to live or move or act in a way that another entity does, doesn't necessarily mean that they're able to give you what they want, and you're not entitled to that from them. If they choose to give it, that is awesome. And if they choose not to give it, that is also awesome. There are other opportunities. And so not only is it an opportunity for curiosity towards this individual, but it could give you then a springboard of, okay, I feel very inspired by X, Y, and Z. What can I do to discover more about that? In terms of politely finding a way to engage with folks, there's this amazing book called Reach Out by Molly Beck. And I'm so congested. I hope it's okay for everybody. I'm gonna need it to be okay with me, which I think is the kicker. All right. Reach Out by Molly Beck is an amazing book with all kinds of resources for how to network with people. And it's not just about building a network in a cold LinkedIn sort of way, but more as like person to person. Here's how to engage with folks and draw upon your circle and your interests and keep building towards the life you want. And if you're looking for something that's more of like a learning ground to collaborate with other people, this again is not sponsored. These are just things that I admire and people I admire. There's someone named Carly Valancy, and she has partnered with Molly Beck in many ways, and she leads the Reach Out Party, and I'll share where you can find the book and where you can find the Reach Out Party in the description below. But I just really believe in their work, and I think that they're doing wonderful things, and there's a lot that can be learned from them that will turn jealousy and comparison into something really productive and inspiring for individuals. Next, jealousy and comparison, especially when it's directed to a specific individual, gives you the opportunity to cheer other people on. So we are not alone in any of this, and there's room for everyone. As someone coming from the entertainment industry where it feels like there's never room for enough people, it's not true. There's room for everyone. There's constantly new projects that are being made. And the thing is, if there are projects that are being made that perhaps you're not being casted or you're not being a part of in some way, you have every opportunity to make your own stuff. The matter then moves away from like, oh, I'm not being picked, into like, how can I enable myself to do these things that I'm going after? Whenever you have peers that are also accomplishing things that are really spectacular in your life, that is an opportunity to be happy for them. I know it seems really difficult, but it is easier said than done. But there was something that a professor said to me long ago: your success is my success. Whenever the waters rise, all the ships rise. It's not just like one will rise and the other sinks, but I'm just as happy for you as I would be for myself, because it's like iron sharpens iron. You're learning more, I'm learning more from you and from watching you. And that's a great thing. It's also really helpful to shift out of the mindset of, oh my gosh, like these people are doing so much better than me, or like I'm far behind. No, your peers. Shift into the mindset of peer. Does that mean disrespect your elders? Well, no. Still respect your elders and still understand like the limitations of what you know versus what someone else may be more equipped with. And that reminds me of something I learned in speech. So one of my degrees is in communication studies. And whenever you're giving a speech and you know that someone in the room has more expertise than you do, it's common practice and it's very polite to defer to them, to say that this individual is in the room and of course they have more expertise on this matter, da 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 da. This is what I'll be presenting today. And you just like, you share it, it's not just yours and you don't just have to protect it for yourself. Knowledge is something that can be spread around and shared. And it's okay if you don't know everything or if you don't know the most in a room. It's actually quite nice to be in rooms where you don't know the most because you become better for it. Another thing on that front, anything a person can do, you could do. Anything a person has the capacity to do, you have the capacity to do. There may be different opportunities, there may be different structures and disciplines in their life, whether they come from different socioeconomic backgrounds, different connections, different education, different access to opportunities and resources. I get it. I come from a theater desert. So what that means is there was no professional theater. I would have to drive 3 hours away sometimes to go see a professional show. It's not the same as if I had grown up in, I don't know, let's say Manhattan, and I had access to professional classes and to representation early on, etc. And that's okay. Like, I love where I'm from. It's just a matter of there's still something that I want. It's still accessible and attainable to me. It's just that the opportunity cost, again, is different. But this is something that other people do. And I am also a people. So I know that I can also achieve it. Something that a leader in my life said in the last few years was that people, what was it? It was something along the lines of people rise to what they can see. And I don't know that that's exactly 100% true, but I know that in my life, it has been incredibly helpful to be able to see things and picture myself in that role, or be able to realize, oh my gosh, I could do that too. And I mean, like, okay, I am a little lady from Central Appalachia, from West Virginia, and I love where I'm from. And this is not common. Like, young women from Appalachia, we don't often move away. Now, I'm seeing a big change in this in recent years, and so my loved ones, I see you. You got this. That being said, whenever there's not clear path, it makes it really challenging, because then you become a trailblazer in a way, and that means there's a lot of mistakes that you'll learn on your own, and you build character for it. But there's not necessarily a set formula for how it works and how it happens. Again, it's different for everybody. But when you have something to compare to in a healthy way, it can be easier to imagine, like, okay, these are the steps I need to take in my life to ensure that X, Y, and Z happens in the way that I hope for it to. Whereas if there's nothing, I am hoping for the best and I will succeed because I am insane, you know? That being said, anything another person can do, you can do. Keep going. Healthy rivalry is a thing. I used to do competitive speech and debate individually and with teams for several years, and I loved being last in the room to go. I just felt very inspired by the folks that I would watch. Like, I wanted the challenge. I understood that there was higher risk on the line. There's a higher risk that I will not succeed because I'm in competition with all of these other very talented individuals. But it made me want to do better. So that is a healthy opportunity for comparison. I also see this happen a lot in the gym. Like, whenever I go exercise with friends, which I miss you, all of my gym buddies. Whenever people go to the gym, a lot of times you'll look around at different physiques and ask your gym buddy or yourself, what is my goal? Like, what person's body type in here is the closest to what I want to achieve for myself? And all right, there's a thin line. Part of it can be toxic in feeling like, "Ah, I'll never achieve it, I'm not good enough, or I don't have it yet, so I'm not able to be happy." I myself am someone who struggles whenever I feel like that's something I want, but I'm not at the finish line. I haven't gone through the challenges that I have to go through to be able to receive the accomplishment. But back it up. You then have a starting point. You can see what others do, and you can see how it affects their lives, and you can assess for yourself if that's something you want or not. Lastly, I just want to say, please give yourself some due credit. You've come a lot farther than you realize. Even trying at something is taking you so much farther than where you were already. And as we talk about comparison, frankly, a lot of folks don't even try. And that doesn't have to be you, you know? That doesn't have to be any of us. We all have to make that choice for ourselves of whether we'll try or not, of whether we'll start setting goals that are achievable. And again, I get that it's easier said than done, and that there are a lot of limiting factors. But at the end of the day, only we can take care of ourselves in that way. It can be really helpful to keep like a progress journal where you write down the notable things you've done in a day. And this is helping me to realize, like, oh, I'm not being lazy because I needed to take a few breaks in a day. I've actually accomplished what I set out to do in ways that get me towards my goal. I may not be already at my goal day 1 or day 4 or 5 or day 16 or 17, but I'm on track. I'm getting a little closer every day, and that makes the difference. There's this other quote about, gosh, I don't know this quote well, but it's about like a ship, and it had turned just a little bit, just the slightest degree, and it changed the whole trajectory of where the ship was heading. And while I may not be seeing the results of what I'm aiming for right now, I feel very confident that I'm taking good care of the future versions of me, you know? So anyway, try to see yourself through your positive actions. We're learning how to put all of these pieces together. I'm rooting for you, okay? You got this. We got this. You're not alone. Have a great week. Bye.